And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all around Australia, all around the world, to the platforms of SimShed Broadcasting. Tonight we're back for Saturday night racing with the Weekend Warriors and Cup Car racing at Kansas Speedway. I'm JP, and joining me in car tonight is going to be Mark Johansson. Mark, how are you, mate?
Good, JP. Welcome to another Saturday night of full-on action at Kansas.
A little bit more of the same. I think it should be another great night of racing tonight at the Kansas Speedway. Maybe you'd like to tell the viewers a little bit about this track, give them a bit of a history.
Yeah, mate. The track is a fairly new one. It was only ground was only broken in 1999, and opened in 2001. It's a 1.5 mile tri-oval, 2.4 kilometres in our language, and it actually is a very, very good revenue raiser for Kansas City, in the sense that it brings in almost $240 million a year to the town. So that is unbelievable.
Yeah, great little revenue raiser for Kansas City, and tonight should be an absolutely fantastic night. Let's get underway straight away with a few notes here, some track notes to let people know what's going on tonight. So tonight we've got the Arrowhead 400 at Kansas Speedway. Track length is 2.4 kilometres. The cars will be doing 167 laps around this track, just a shade over 400 kilometres. As a matter of fact, 400.8 kilometres distance for the race to be exact. Pit lane speed for the cars is 72 kilometres an hour. Now, these cars don't have pit lane limiters. They have to manage their own speed entering and exiting the pit, so that'll be something to look out for. Fuel limit on these cars are limited to 70.7 litres of fuel, which should equate to somewhere, it should be two and a bit pit stops. So expect to see a couple of pit stops and maybe a splash and dash, maybe 3 full stops in tonight. Their fuel burn is going to be about 1.245 litres a lap, and they'll be getting 4 sets of tyres for tonight, so they should be running on freshies. Although if we have some caution periods, that could shake things up. Race start is set for the 11th of September 2021, and the race start time is going to be 7:05. Track temp, it's a nice balmy 24 degrees out there with 25 degrees on track, with 11 km/h winds coming from the southeasterly direction. So should be a great race tonight. What have we got here? 50% race distance is going to be 84 laps, so the drivers must complete a minimum of 50% to be classified for this race.
It's also getting very tight at the top of the table there, JP. I think Darren's probably got the championship sewn up, but all he's got to do is miss 1 or 2 races, and it may open it up. But the real challenge is for second and third. I'd say there'd be probably 4 or 5 guys vying for that position, especially with 2 more rounds of the Triple Crown to come, and they're both worth double points.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's not over until it's over. There's still going to be plenty of racing to come as we see a car go off track here. Let's actually go and have a look at the championship points and see where everyone's stacking up at the minute. And we can see here Darren McKenzie's leading with 890 points. He's got an absolute stranglehold on this series. Hasn't been winning much, but he's been there or thereabouts, and he's been very consistent throughout the whole series, and that's why he's on top of the points table at the moment. In second, Paul Jackson with 761 points. Dylan Davies in third. Josh Carroll-Walden in fourth. Scott McClintock in fifth, with Stephen Williams in sixth. Adam Ariel seventh. Ruben Phelps 8th, Barry Neal 9th, and yourself, Mark, after helping me out for a few nights in commentary and missing a few rounds, you're just sitting there in the top 10, so that's not bad at all.
Look, I'm pretty happy with where I'm sitting in the championship. Yeah, things might improve later on, but We'll be right.
There's still plenty of racing between now and the end of the year, and they're just going into qualifying now. So we'll just keep going through these championship points, and then we'll head off and watch these guys with their qualifying. So they've got 2 laps to put it all on the line and get those all important lap times. A lot of racing to do, 167 laps. So really, starting at the pointy end of the field is probably bragging rights more than anything else. But Paul Drady has started already, putting in some purple sectors, and we'll see this all night long. These cars just going faster and faster and jockeying for position. Aidan Schultz launches the first shot across the bow and takes his car straight to the top of the points table, or the timetable, I should say. Ed Foster's quickly displaced him and gone to the top of the table. Mark Smith, someone that we haven't seen much of in the last few rounds, but he's starting to come on now more and more. So he's sitting in third at the minute.
Oh, I'm not much help to you here, JP. I've got my screen full of telemetry and everything, so I can't actually see what's going on. Give you a hand here, so I know that some of these times will be fairly quick.
Yeah, we were just watching Darren McKenzie there having a go. He's having to go for his second lap. He's got another purple sector here. Can he displace Ed Foster? We'll find out very, very shortly.
Darren's really come on in the last couple of weeks with the amount of racing he's been doing in some of the other leagues. I know he got a win last week in one of the other leagues he races in. So he's really coming on the back end of the season too.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the fast guys in practice, Barry Neal, he's out there doing his qualifying run. So, no, look at that. Oh, locked up going into the last bend and straight into the wall just before crossing the control line. One of the last cars to go out now, Jake Skilton, with his qualifying run. Track's getting a little, looks like it's getting a little cooler out there.
Yeah, my crew chief just whispered there's cooling down a little bit, which is to be expected with the sun going off it. So by the time it gets into the night, that should rubber up nicely and be nice and cool, and should see some fast times and maybe even a fast race tonight.
And that's it. That's qualifying done.
I'm a little bit disappointed. Back in 17th, I thought it may have been a little bit quicker, but we did qualify in the race trim, so we had a few modifications that we probably could have changed to make it a bit quicker. But 17th isn't too bad. We'll just stay out of trouble.
Yeah, let's have a look and see how they lined up for the race now. Starting off the first row, Edward Foster and Darren McKenzie. On the second row, Mark Smith and Ruben Phelps. Third row, Aidan Schultz and Nigel Payton. Fourth row, Paul Drady and Dylan Davies. Fifth row, Greg Spencer, Adam Ariel. Sixth row, Reese May and Stephen Williams. We haven't seen Stephen for a couple of weeks, so good to see him back. On the seventh row, Jared Farrell, Ryan M. Barbas. Eighth row, Reese Belitho and Tristan Koch. Ninth row, Mark, yourself and Jake Skillington. 10th row, David Misson and Brett Campbell. 11th row, Jamie Nankirvis and Scott McClintock. 12th row, Michael Shaw and Barry Neal, probably somewhere where we're not used to seeing him, but I'm sure he'll move up during the course of the night.
Definitely, I'll give him 5 or 6 laps and he'll really start to make a move to the field, JP.
Yeah, they're forming up behind the pace car now. Lights are out on the pace car, so they will go racing after this formation lap, and it'll be all up to Edward Foster to control the field and start them off for the race. You can see they're bunching up now. Nerves are getting higher. Pace car's off the track now, so it's all up to Ed Foster. He's backing them up. He's gone well, but it looks like Darren McKenzie's gone with him. Darren McKenzie's on the high side. I don't know whether that's going to work for him at the moment because Mark Smith has gone right underneath them and just taken second place. They've all gotten away really well now. Mark Smith just managing that gap between himself and Foster. You can see a couple of guys are sort of starting to get a little racy there. Ruben Phelps ranging up on the back of Aidan Schultz, so teammates here together, so they're going to start working together to try and make some headroom. But pretty much everyone else is just sort of feeling their way around the track at the moment and seeing what everybody else is doing.
Well, that was a bit scary from Adam. He got a bit loose there and ended up on the grass through the D. Come back up in front of us.
Yeah, we just got on there just after that had happened, so I think we missed a little bit of that. Aidan Schultz so far looks like he's on a bit of a blinder there. Everybody's just starting to settle down. Let's try something different for tonight. Let's have a look at our drone cam. Let's see if we can follow Mark Smith with our drone cam tonight. What amazing camera angles from Track Cams for Gourmet. So our drone cam's looking pretty awesome.
I think I'm definitely going to have to go back and have a look at the replay, JP. You're pulling out these new cameras on me when I don't have a chance to have a look, see?
Mate, it's not me. It's Track Cams for Gourmets. They're coming up with some amazing camera shots and just really adding to these broadcasts.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job. It seems like every time iRacing does an upgrade or trading paints or anything, all the guys that supply our cameras end up doing an upgrade just as quick.
Yeah, 100%. I think while the cars are all bunched up, let's crank up the volume and let's listen to these cars roar around the track.
I can tell you right now, JP, this sun hour coming in out of turn 4 is a bit of a pain in the rear end. Nice and bright.
Let's jump on board with Mark and have a look and see what this track looks like from a driver's eye view.
Oh, we've got one on the infield. I don't know if people can see that. Coming back on.
Oh, he's come back on in a hurry. That looks like that could have been Mark's. No, that was Reese May that went off field. We'll have a look at that in a moment. There you go. You can see that that glare there from the light coming at you. Let's go to a replay and see what happened here with Reese. Oh, just hit the wall there and it just turned him into the infield. Great work to keep the car, to keep control of the car and be able to get back onto the track too. Darren McKenzie's just fallen back a little bit now. Now he's pressuring Mark Smith. But we've seen this before from Darren. He sort of has a strong start, falls back midway through the race or early on midway through the race. And then for that last third of the race, he really comes on strong.
Sorry about that, JP. Yeah, Darren seems to use that first set of tyres up fairly quick. And then once he gets onto that second set, he just seems to be able to settle the car down and drive to the tyres.
Yeah, 100%. He's really sort of come on, and he knows that look, he doesn't have to try too hard. He just has to maintain his finishing positions. He's been top 5, top 10 all season. I think he's had one win in the last 29 rounds. He just has to keep finishing, and that's going to just put him in good stead for the championship.
Oh, most definitely, mate. And that's I think a lot of the guys now in that top 5, top 6, even myself, I'm just trying to consolidate top 10 finish. The last 3 rounds, we go Nashville, Michigan, and the Simshed 500. I really think that last round will be where you see the boxing gloves come off.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of boxing gloves, we've seen Nigel Payton and Greg Spencer absolutely monstering Mark Smith here. They are all over him, but Mark's not giving an inch too. He doesn't give up easily.
No, definitely not. And I must admit that's one thing. Mark's a rookie this year, and he's in the battle for Rookie of the Year with Jamie Nankervis.
Yeah, and so far everyone's done a great job. They're just circulating. They know that they've got a long way to go. Lap 17 of 166. So no need to do anything silly. Just keep rolling around. As we see that Dylan Davies having a look here. Looks at the moment like the low line seems to be working. I don't know. You getting that sense, Mark?
Yeah, I'm definitely sticking to the low line. There's a couple of guys that are getting a bit braver and just getting up into that second line. That will definitely start to come on as the more and more rubber goes down and guys look for more and more ways around each other.
Yeah, look at this battle pack here, guys. Some close racing going on here, and a few comments there. Steve Hoppett, yeah, too tight to race after reconfiguring the cockpit all afternoon, mate. I know what that's like. If you've got anything like my rig, reconfiguring that thing is a job and a half. And yeah, he also said he likes the drone view. Yeah, that drone view is absolutely it's a cracker. Expect me to be using that a little bit tonight. You have any comments? Please just let us know. You're on the platforms here of SimShed Broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and Twitch, of course.
And don't forget, race fans, if you want to go check out our webpage, you can definitely do that at www.weekendwarriorsasc.com. All the latest news there from the league.
100%. I thoroughly recommend you do have a look at that. Here we go, yellow flag. So we didn't see what's happened there. Mark, do you have any pearls of wisdom there for us, mate? Can you tell us what might have happened?
No, mate, it's happened behind me. So, yeah, I've got no idea.
So we're 22 laps in 166. Do you think anyone's going to go and dive into the pits here?
I won't say I am, but I'll definitely be looking to top up with fuel to maybe change the strategy a little bit.
All right, mate, you can tell us. No one's listening.
Yeah, I'll definitely be going in this pit lane open just for fuel, though.
So we, unfortunately, we missed this one. It could have been something to do with Dave and Mizzen. I'm not sure. Ed
Well,
Foster, Ruben Phelps, Stephen Williams have stayed out, while pretty much everyone else has dived into the pits to go onto the alternative fuel strategy. Although now I guess that's going to be the main fuel strategy, and these guys are on the alternate.
Yeah, definitely. Some of these guys definitely look like they've taken tyres. They'll get a bit better run. So, but I'm happy with just fuel tonight at the moment.
Yeah, I guess the smart money is banking on a caution period towards the tail end of the race and making sure that you've at least got a set of fresh tyres in your pocket for that.
Oh, definitely. The last couple of races, we've had a couple of overtimes, so definitely want a fresh set of tyres if we can. So the trick here, JP, for me is, well, with some of these other guys in front of me, we're all on older tyres. So the secret is not to spin them up and lose traction on the start.
Did you got guys behind you that you think have gone in for tyres, mate?
Oh, definitely. I've come out in front of the guys that went in before me, so they've definitely taken tyres.
So they'll be looking to make a big moves as soon as the race goes green.
Yeah, definitely. They'll try and press home their advantage and get a gap on us guys that stayed on old tyres.
Steve Hoppett's the first to draw a line in the sand, so he's gone Foster, Phelps, and McKenzie to fill the podium. At the early stage, I probably wouldn't be arguing with him too much, but there are always some dark horses in this field. Here we go. And Foster takes off early this time and gets a commanding lead. He gets a great lead off the whole shot. Phelps and Schultz are also in the box seat here. They're working together, teammates working together, so that's going to help them. That start by Foster's really helped. He's out to a 0.7 of a second lead now. The thing is, with someone like Ed Foster, if you let him get out on you and you let him get a lead like that, he's a very smooth racer. He knows how to look after his tyres, and he can just keep plugging away and doing those sorts of lap times, lap after lap. You've got Scott right behind you there, mate. Looks like you guys are going to be able to team up and start working together soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely try, that's for sure.
Oh, that was close. Scott McClintock and Nigel Payton. There would have been a cigarette paper in there.
We've gone to black paint tonight, mate, to try and sneak up on people.
Yeah, the cars are looking good, mate, and you've gone a different livery tonight. Perhaps you can tell the people watching us what the story is behind your liveries.
Yeah, it's a 9/11 memorial livery. Scott had some friends that he lost in the trade towers. I had mates that were in the U.S. military that I lost in the that lost their lives in the Pentagon. So we decided that since the 9/11, mate, we thought we'd pay some respect to those that have passed, and those brave men of the firefighters and police that rushed into the building instead of away from it. Yeah, just pay respect and some remembrance for them.
Yeah, well done, fantastic, man, and the paints look spot on too.
Thanks very much, mate. Scott puts does all our paint jobs. There's a lot of effort into them. I have absolutely no idea what we're going to have on the cars next week, so it'll be something different, I'm sure.
Now this is interesting. Paul Drady has pretty much come out of nowhere, and he's right on the tail of Ed Foster now. He's making a move. Goes low, makes it stick. That brings Dylan Davies into the fore, and he's made a move as well. I kind of get the feeling that Foster really doesn't care too much. He's running his own race at the minute, and he's not going to buy into this into these two guys in front of him now.
Ed will just sit back and let them burn up their tyres, and he'll be there at the end without a doubt. Every race that he's been with us, I think he's finished second in every race he started with us this year.
Yeah, and it looks from the looks of it, it looks like Paul Drady and Dylan Davies would have taken tyres on their stop. They both had a 14-second stop. Paul Drady a 14.65, Dylan Davies a 14.95. Compare that to say your stop, Mark. You had a 7.92 stop for fuel only.
Yeah, definitely fuel, definitely tyres that they've taken. Just wondering how many other guys dove in, but that puts them into a bit of a risky session where now they've only got 3 sets of tyres, or 2 more sets of tyres for the rest of the race. So that's a bit of a gamble, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And we've seen Reese Bolitho has now gone past Foster as well. He's another one who pitted for fuel and tyres. So I'd say Ed'd know that, and he's not going to try and fight these guys. Jared Farrell, Adam Ariel would be another two that came in for tyres. But Mark Smith, he came in as well, but he had a 42-second pit stop. So I'd say that would have been perhaps speeding in the pits.
Very well could have been. Or you may have just sat there to get some damage repaired, that quick repair damage.
Watching Phelps and Schultz here, doesn't look like they're working together much. Looks like they were trying to race each other, but now looks like Phelps is tucked in behind Schultz, and they're going to start using their slipstream and start working together again. There we go. Farewell and Ariel. They seem to be very racy at the minute. But coming up on them is Mark Smith. He's looking very racy as well. Looks like Jared's got a little bit of damage on the front of his car as well, so that may not help him. Lap 39 now of 166, so these guys are getting into their rhythm now.
Oh, it looks like Nigel's touched the outside wall again in 4. He's on the infield.
Let's have a look at that on the simsnap.com iRacing photography replay. Yeah, he's just come up too high, touched the wall, and yeah, it's just speared him into the infield. Once again, being able to hold control of the car and get back out on track, but he's lost a ton of places. Don't need to worry about COVID-19 in the virtual world. So while all this has been going on, Dylan Davies has been able to make a pass on Paul Drady for first place. Let's have a look and see what that was all about. Yeah, he just tucks in behind him, buys his time, down on the low line there, gets the run out of the corner, and just nicely done. Nice and clean move. Looks like we may have had our first fatality of the night.
Who was that, JP?
So Brett Campbell's come in on the infield. No, he's just come into the pits. He's missed the pit entry, locked it up, and had to come around and get back into the pits there. So not that bad. Not that bad for Brett. Now we're looking at lap times now. Looking at the top three, Dylan Davies, Paul Drady, Reece Bolitho, they all came in on lap 22 for fuel and tyres. They're now circulating in the mid-32s, so 32.48, 32.60 and 32.75. Ed Foster decided to stay out, so he hasn't been in for fuel or tyres. His last lap, 32.54, so their tyres have now dropped off, and he's measuring them lap for lap.
My last lap time of JP was a 32.9, so it's I'm definitely going to be starting to look like for tyres in the next 15 laps.
Yeah, up until that lap, mate, you were the last of the cars in the 32s. So now you've joined pretty much everyone behind you now, lapping in the 33s. Although Tristan Koch just did a 32.6. But going back to the top four there, their lap times are pretty similar. So if anything, Foster's starting to catch up or real Reese Belitho again.
Yeah, tyres have definitely dropped off. I'm starting to use the brake a little bit more and more into the turns and coming out of the turns just to hold it down.
And this is where Foster does really well. He can get to these sorts of lap counts and further along, and his tyre drop off doesn't seem to be as bad as as a lot of other drivers. He tends to be able to manage his tyres fairly well. Steve Hoppett, never mind COVID, by mid-race, the drivers will be social distancing. Well, it's not mid-race yet, but it looks like they're starting to do a little bit of social distancing on track there at the minute.
Just had 88 touch the art wall in turn 4. That magnet's working overtime tonight.
Yeah, seems to be drawing the cars in there and then bouncing them straight off again.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Great onboard shot there with Darren McKenzie. Really nice looking livery that he's got there, that Xbox livery that he's running on his car.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pan around to the ridge chase. He's actually Michael Shaw's running a charity race for those that don't know. With Darren had some bad things happen a couple of weeks ago. His young son lost battle with leukemia, and they're putting on a race for Jake. So I can't tell you exactly 100% when the race is, but yeah, it's, he's running the signage there for that race on the rear of the car.
Yeah, and I recommend everybody have a look at that. That's really sad news, and you know, our hearts still, you know, go out to Darren and his family.
Oh, most definitely, mate.
Have a look at this battle pack for 9th, 10th, and 11th. This is absolutely insane. These guys have been going at it lap after lap. So lap 54 now, shouldn't be too long until we start seeing the likes of Ed Foster come in for fuel and tyres. And there we go. Ed's just caught up to Reese and been able to make a passing move on him. And now it kind of seems like the tables have turned. So he's just dipped in the 33-second mark. Ed has. Dylan Davies, Drady, they're still running in the high 32s. But I'd say that 33 from Foster was because he was getting around Belitho.
I can hear you over the race radio, mate. There's a few guys behind me starting to look for the pits.
Yeah, here we go. Reese May, Nigel Patton have gone into the pits now. Now this might end up by hurting Foster. Obviously, he's going to go into the pits. If he goes in under green, he's going to lose a lot of time to these guys.
Yeah, so I'm praying for a yellow, believe me.
Yeah, look, have a look at the damage on Ariel's car there. That's not going to be helping him a lot. Have a look at the track there with the sun coming down. Absolutely picture perfect. Yeah, Reese is starting to drop off now. Mark Smith has just had a go at him and been able to make an easy move around him. Even Williams now goes into the pits. Aiden Schultz follows him. We mentioned this guy at the beginning of the broadcast, Barry Neal. He started from fairly way back in the field there. He's made up 17 places now, sitting in 7th spot. So he's done very well. There we go. Foster pulls the trigger. He's in the pits.
I'm diving in myself.
McClintock, Mark Johansson, both in the pits as well. Let's have a look at some of the movers and shakers for tonight. So Drady up 6 places. Dylan Davies up 6 places as well. Mark Smith looks like he hasn't moved. He's back in 3rd. Reese Bolitho up 11 places. Greg Spencer up 4. Barry Neal with the driver of the night so far up 18 places. Jared Farrell up 5. Adam Ariel up 1. Next notable is Michael Shaw down in 10th. He's up 13 places. Biggest losers, have a look at this. Ed Foster down 10 spots. Nigel Payton down 15. Now, Ed's just come back out again. He's got a full tank of fuel and fresh tyres, so let's see what he can do. I'd say Ed's got to be the man on the charge. So I think we should crank up the volume, have a listen to Ed, and let's take a few laps around the track with Ed. There we go, folks. A couple of laps around Kansas Speedway with Ed Foster as he's on an absolute charge. His last lap, a 31.60. Paul Drady in first, 32.99, so 33-second lap. So you can see the difference that fresh tyres are doing. Barry Neal in the pits now. Lap 71 of 166. We're quickly coming up on half race distance. Half race distance for this race, folks, is 84 laps. So far, the only real race that we're witnessing is Greg Spencer and Reece Bolitho here racing for 4th place. And Spencer pulls the trigger and he's into the pits. So far, 7 cars on the lead lap, but that's certainly going to change once they go in for their pit stops, if they stop under green. Ariel and Belitho, they pull the trigger there in the pits. That brings Foster into 5th and Schultz into 6th. They're still circulating around the 31, the mid-31s. Everyone in front of them now are in the 33-second mark. Easy move there, Darren McKenzie on Michael Shaw. No need to argue with McKenzie. McKenzie's on fresh tyres. Shaw just cannot match him for pace. Will that, Reese Bolitho's gone off track. Will that trigger a caution? Have a look at the replay. Just the back end stepped out. He tried to catch it. No can do. He's gone straight into the infield. Managed to come back out on track. No harm, no foul, no caution. How's the car feel with new boots, Mark? Mark Smith has ranged back onto Dylan Davies, and he's making that move, making an easy move of it here. Down on the inside of Dylan Davies. Job done. Keep racing. Yeah, Paul Drady's pulled the trigger. He's in. Race leader is in. Jared Farrell has gone in as well. Now Paul is still coming down pit lane. He hasn't stopped in his pit box yet. All the while, Foster is ranging up 22 seconds behind him, and that gap is closing quickly. Drady's in his pit box. Foster's made that transition now back into 3rd place, but when Drady comes out, of course, he's going to have fresh tyres. So watch for him to start hunting down Foster and see if he can make the overtake. Now we're watching Mark Smith here leading the race. Relatively, he's had a relatively quiet season, but he's come on strong, probably in the last 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, great to see, and yeah, awesome racing by this guy. Now watching Spencer and McClintock here. Spencer probably with he's got tyres that are 8 laps younger than Scott's tyres, so easy overtake there. conversely, Reese has had a put a move on you with tyres that are about 9 laps fresher than yours as well. Yeah, he wasn't mucking around. Foster back into second place, courtesy of that alternate fuel strategy. He's gone from being the hunted to being the hunted now. So Foster's in the 32, the mid 32s now. Paul Drady, who's come out from first into seventh, he's now in the mid 31. So he's catching Foster at about a second a lap. But yeah, he's got a lot of distance to cover still. Dylan Davies fires off, and he's in the pits now. Foster regains the lead, but for how long on this alternate pit strategy? We would have said it was the main pit strategy, but when the first caution period came out, most of the field decided to pit in for a splash of fuel. This is interesting strategy though. Paul Drady, who's in 5th place, he pitted on lap 79, so he has much fresher tyres. Foster's last lap was a 32.5. Drady's was a 31.8, so maybe his tyres are starting to drop off a little bit earlier than he expected.
It wasn't until the last 20 laps I felt, and I've only just done 24 laps on this set, and I can feel the front end starting to move around a little bit.
Yeah, interesting turn of events. I would have thought with the sun going down, maybe the track cooling off, we would have seen the tyres gripping up a little bit more. But it's a little bit different with cup car racing than it is with track racing.
Yeah, definitely. I might come off this bottom line and sit to this middle line for a little while and just see if they starts to look after the tyres a little bit.
We'll follow Mark for a few laps and see how that middle line's going for you, mate.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to run the middle line in 1 and 2, then still drop down to the bottom line in 3 and 4.
Does that feel like that's offering you probably the most grip?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely better up here in 3 and 4 on the low line, and definitely better in the center in 1 and 2.
Yeah, nice work. There we go. Lap 92 of 166. So we're past half distance now, and I think where are we at here? So pretty much all bar 2 drivers are definitely going to be classified for tonight. Paul Drady makes short work of Darren McKenzie there. Paul seems to be doing okay though. He's into the high 31s. Last lap at 31.8. So his drop off isn't that bad. Foster a 32.5. Schultz a 32.5. Neil, next one on Drady's radar with a 32.6. At this stage, with Foster sticking to his guns, it kind of looks like this strategy might be panning out for him. Reese has gone off track again. Let's have a look. Ping, just hit that wall again. Looks like that turn 4 wall. Fires him off into the grass. I guess it's a nice straight shot there back on track, so he's able to keep the car running. Once again, no caution.
That's one thing about Kansas and a couple other tracks that are very similar. If you get on that grass and or that inside asphalt there against the inside wall, it doesn't throw a caution all that often. So it's one good thing. It keeps the racing going.
Yeah, absolutely. So far we've seen a few people fall victim to that turn 4 wall there, but they've been able to keep going. And now Paul Drady is all over the back of Barry Neal. But as you would well know, Barry's not an easy man to overtake.
Oh, definitely not. He can make that Toyota very, very wide when he wants to.
And this is really going to work into his hands now, because he's holding Paul up. He's making him work. Although Paul's got an inside run here, not close enough. He's making him work, so he's going to work those tyres harder to try to get around Neil. This is kind of where that splash really is kind of nulled out, really. If Drady can't clear Neil and get up to the back of Schultz and Foster, it's really really not going to help him much, because his tyres are going to go south on him. Foster and Schultz are still carrying some fairly good pace, and yeah, it's any advantage he may have had is pretty much going to be negated. Last lap for Drady, 32.6, 32.7 for Neil, 32.8 for Schultz, 32.6 for Foster.
Just if anyone's interested, I'll just touch the wall myself, looking down the dash. I was going to say, coming into that turn
2
4,
eyes on the road, mate.
Yeah, coming into that turn 4, we're doing 284 kilometres. Down through the try, we're at 183. Mid corner, we're down to about 269 kilometres. So this is a fairly fast track.
Well, I reckon we should turn the dashboard on and follow you around for a couple of laps, so that people can actually see what sort of speeds that you're getting up to. almost 280 kilometers in what could only be described as an aerodynamically enhanced brick going around this track. So great work, mate.
Thanks, mate. It's starting to get a bit of a handful. 40 laps on this set of tyres. 64 to go. I might duck in very shortly and take that second set of tyres. Yeah.
While we were following you, Drady made that move on Neil, but Neil's not letting him go. Now Drady's got a little bit of an advantage. Let's have a look at the pass that Drady put on Neil. Yeah, he got up underneath him. That's what he's been trying to do for lap after lap. Once he managed to get underneath Barry Neal, there was nowhere that Barry could go. Had to give him enough room, and it was just a matter of time before he was going to get that position back. Those few laps behind Neil, though, may have ruled Drady's race. His lap times now are fairly similar to the two in front of him. He's probably 2/10 of a second the last lap faster than Schultz and Foster, so it's going to be hard work from him from here on in. 106 of 166. This has gone fairly event or incident free so far tonight, but I may have put the commentator's curse on. Oh, that's right. I'm not a commentator. I do the broadcasting, so it doesn't matter. I can say anything.
I'm hoping you do bring out a yellow because that'll save me.
Don't I have admin rights here, mate? I can always bring out a sneaky yellow. No, I wouldn't do that.
I don't think your life would be worth living if you did that.
Yeah, I could just imagine 22 drivers hunting me down. At the moment, Foster's leading, and he looks like he's in the box seat too. He's got an 8-second margin over Schultz. This is probably Aiden's best placing so far. There's still a lot of racing to go, though. Drady in third. He's got a lot of racing to do as well to catch these guys. But yeah, it's certainly not over yet.
No, definitely. I'm just going to share. Edwards pitted either a lap before or a lap after me. I've got 16.7 laps in the tank to go on this tank.
Foster will probably hold out as long as he can to pit. He's going to want that fresh set in his pocket for just in case a caution comes out. Having said that, if a caution comes out now, I think all bets are off.
Oh, definitely. Everyone will dive to the pits.
There you go. You've got Schultz up behind you now, looking to put you a lap down. You can see the back of your car having a little bit of a wiggle coming out of there.
Yeah, definitely feeling it. I'm going to try and hang out until see if we get a caution. But yeah, if we don't, no harm lost. I'm still pretty happy with the way we've run tonight.
Yeah, 100%. You've done really well tonight. And look, I guess from here on in, you guys are going to be praying for a caution because you don't want to be pitting under green.
No, definitely not. Well, the fuel chief has just told me I can come in and take fuel and tyres and make it home from now.
Still a lot of laps.
Definitely is a lot of laps, but yeah, we'll hang out here for a couple more and see if we get a caution.
At the minute, you're not doing too badly. You're riding there in P10. It looks like 11th is Ruben Phelps, and he's some close to 8 seconds behind you. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's telling me 1.5. So, but it's changing all the time, as you know, JP. Depending on what happens and where you go and.
Greg Spencer's pulled the trigger. He's come into the pits and now he's on his way out. He's going to come out, probably come out behind you, mate.
Yeah, I'll definitely try and get one more lap out of this, and I'm going to pull the pin and take tyres and fuel. Starting to get a little bit too hairy.
Right, well, I've just been joined in the sim shed here by my co-commentators. My two dogs, Maximilian and Mr. Bascom, have just come and joined me now for the evening. So, if you hear any funny noise, that'll probably be them snoring. Here we go. We're following Mark in as he's pitting. Nice stop there, mate. Right on your mark. Getting some fuel and tyres.
Yeah, definitely fuel and tyres, mate.
So what's the game plan from here? Strap yourself in for the ride home. If you get a late caution in, you'll dive in for tyres, maybe.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of damage there on the right-hand side where I touch that wall. So I'll come in and take some tyres and get that damage fixed if we get a caution.
Does it feel like that damage is affecting you at all?
Maybe slightly, but not enough to be much of a hindrance. These things can take a little bit of a knock.
Yeah, 100%. Interesting comment by Brad Allison, and great to see you watching, Brad. He said you should stay out whilst you're still the lucky dog, but are you still the lucky dog now, or that's done and dusted after your pit stop?
No, that's done and dusted after my pit stop. But plenty of things have happened, so we'll just see how we go.
Fair call.
I mean to say, it is a special race really tonight, and you remember the last time I raced in a special race?
Mate, last time you raced in a special race, you Bradbury'd your way to a win.
Most definitely. So, and I was roughly in the same spot then as I am now. So, anything
sorry,
can happen.
Mate. I'll interrupt you, but Foster is in a bit of in a bit of hurt at the moment. He's caught in traffic. He's trying to get through some traffic, which looks like they may have pitted, so they may actually be faster than him and trying to unlap themselves. That might have cost him a little bit of time there. We'll see when he comes around the next time if it has cost him a bit of time. Doesn't look like it was too bad, actually. He just did a 32.7. Schultz did a 33.1, and he's pulled the trigger and jumped into the pits. Neil has followed him as well. So what does Foster do now? Schultz has gone into the pits. Neil's gone into the pits. These are the guys that he's racing. Smith has just jumped into the pits as well. Does he cover them off and go into the pits, or does he stay out? He's still lapping in the high 32s. So yeah, that'd be interesting call. Drady's in the pits. Brad Allison, he'll never let us forget it. That's you that'll never let them forget about the win. There he goes. Foster pulls the trigger and he's in the pits as well. Smart move by Foster covering off those guys.
Now with fresh boots back on the car, JP, I'm back. I can get back down on this low line and run this low line in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's a bonus.
Yeah, nice, mate. And we see here another driver that likes running the low line is Barry Neal. Although having said that, he just jumps up to the high line there and just scoots around. I think that was Jamie Nankervis. Now this is going to be interesting. Darren McKenzie came in on lap 63, Reese Bolitho on lap 73. They're obviously staying out as long as they can. They're going to have the freshest tyres when they come back out again. So they're going to be able to motor their way through some of the traffic, but will they have enough to get back to the pointy end? I don't think so. Now we're seeing a few battle packs here and there. Drivers that have pitted for tyres against drivers who haven't. Darren McKenzie's pulled the trigger now. He's in the pits. McKenzie at his box. Reese is carrying on with it. 33.75 was his last lap, so what does he do? Here we go, yellow flag. Nigel Payton, looks like something's happened to Nigel Payton. Yellow flag, so this really falls in the hands of the guys who've just pitted. What does Foster do here? What does Foster and Bolitho do? Do they jump into the pits for fresh tyres?
I'd say with 41 to go, they'd have to.
Let's have a look and see what happened to Nigel Payton. Oh, big hit there on the wall. Goes to the infield, but I think this time he's corrected, but corrected too soon. He's going to go back up and crunch into the wall. Here it comes. Bang. Look at that. He'll be putting that car up for sale at the end of the race. Slightly used, only driven on Saturdays. One careful owner. The rest didn't give a expletive.
I can tell you now that caution come out 11 laps too late.
Yep, Reese Bolitho's pulled the pin. Drady, Phelps, Smith are in. This is going to be very, very interesting. Foster has chosen to stay out. I don't know whether that's the right move, to be honest. So Foster pitted lap 121, Schultz 119, Spencer 111, Neal 119, Koch 101, Darren McKenzie 123. In 7th, Reese Bolitho pitted on 126, Paul Drady pitted on 126, Mark Smith pitted on 126. So those guys are going to be coming out with fresh rubber. You can bank that you can bet that they're going to be coming at the field very hard. And here we go, a couple more, pull the trigger and go in. Lights out on the pace car. Cars are forming up. We're going to go racing again. Here we go, pace cars in. Foster hits it early, gets a nice gap over Schultz. And we're racing again. Kenzie making his move now on those pressure tyres. He's been able to get around Neal. Here we go, another caution. Looks like this could have been a coming together by Adam Ariel and David Misson. I'm not sure what happened here. Let's go to our replay and see if we can figure out what's happened. Contact. There you go, as we say, cautions breed cautions.
And do the sneaky here, come in the pit lane, take that last set of tyres.
There we go. Johansson, Ariel, Misson, Shaw, Payton, Williams, all in pit lane. Looks like Ariel and Misson will be taking more than just tyres. Their cars look very second hand. Here we go, they're forming up again now. Let's sit in behind Foster, see if Mackenzie can get a good restart. we go, pace cars coming in. Great restart by Foster. Mackenzie's got the overlap there. He's got that inside run on Schultz. Can't make it stick. Here we go. Schultz and Phelps are together now. They'll start working together, see if they can move themselves back up the field. Foster's been able to eke out a gap over Schultz and Phelps. Mackenzie in fourth. Once again, you know, he's been able to make his way up to the pointy end of the field and shows that consistency in the race.
Yeah, we've nicknamed him Mr. Consistency, and yeah, he just seems to be able to do it every week after week.
And that's all he needs, is just to be there or thereabouts, and he just keeps banking points.
Yeah, definitely.
141 of 166. See, the cars are back in the battle now.
We might see Edward get his first win by the look of things, if he can hold on.
Phelps having a look at Schultz here, makes the move stick into second place. He's feeling maybe that he's got the pace over his teammate. He said, move aside, let me through. And they're starting to push each other now. Look at this, Barry Neal now up 18 places. Really putting the pressure on Dylan Davies. All the while, Greg Spencer's there as well, just looking at both of them. Davies clouts the wall. That allows Neil to get through. Also allows Spencer to have a look. There we go. Spencer gets around Neil. All the while at the front, Foster's starting to eke out a bit of a lead. He's got a half a second lead. He's just pulling away slowly from Phelps. Phelps has actually started to make a move on Schultz. He's moving away from Schultz as well. Darren McKenzie's coming under attack by Mark Smith. Mark Smith going down the inside, making a move now. Can he make it stick? Look at this, 3 wide almost. At the dying stages of the race now. Now they're all playing for keeps.
Yeah, now it's game on. Gloves are off, anything's a go. Blocking, the whole works, mate.
And you can see here that Darren's got a little bit of damage, but I think more than anything else, he's in more of damage control mode. He knows what's at stake. He knows there's a championship at stake. He just has to bank points. He's dropping down now. He's in 9th place. 10th place now. Mark Smith is on the charge. Greg Spencer's has fallen behind Barry Neal again, and he's now looking to attack. But I tell you what, there's no going past Barry Neal, mate. He's come up 20 places from this evening to sit in 4th place. Looks like Jamie Nankervis has come to grief. Something's happened. Go to quick replay and have a look at this. Oh no, look at that. Jamie's been able to get things going again, so no caution has been called. All the while, Greg Spencer's been hunting down the back of Barry Neal's car. Barry Neal has made his way ever closer to Aiden Schultz. So we're looking at a 3-way battle here. This seems to be the battle to watch at the minute. Schultz, Neil, Spencer battling out for third place here. Foster's 0.4 of a second up the road, but it's sort of ebbing and flowing between himself and Phelps. Neil's looking for a run on the inside. He can't get it. He can't get the gap at the minute. Spencer's looking for it. That could be the opportunity that he was waiting for. He's got the inside run on Neil. Oh no! Have a look at this one again. Barry Neal's just come high here. I think he's just got a little taily. He's tried to bring it around. The car's just understeered into the wall. And from there, just ricocheted off the wall, down across into the side of Spencer's car. That's actually helped Neil sort of straighten up, and he's been able to get away with it. But yeah, unfortunate there. That was shaping up to be a great battle. All the while, Foster's been able to sort of extend his lead on Phelps here. It's now down up to 0.6 of a second, 6 laps to go. This is all but done, but yeah, let's just stick with these guys and see how they wind up. Phelps has had a big look there around the outside. Made up plenty of room on Foster. Didn't see that coming. Five to go, and it's absolutely on. Phelps had a big look before there. He's fallen back again. Was that Phelps having a look, or did something happen to Foster there? Phelps is having another sniff, but I think it might be a little bit too little, too late. But he's looking good there. But I think Foster's got control of this one. White flag out. Last lap. Phelps is as close as he's ever been to Foster. Will he have a look? Foster's just able to eke out that little bit of a gap on Phelps. I think it's pretty much over now. Here we go, around for the last time to take the checkered flag, and that's it. 166 laps. Edward Foster for the win. Ruben Phelps in second. Aidan Schultz third. Fantastic driving by these guys.
Yeah, great race by everyone there tonight. It's yeah, really good. Oh, what a great race there, JP.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant race. Let's have a look at the how they wound up. First, their fitting win for Edward Foster. Controlled the race all night long. Ruben Phelps in second. Aidan Schultz third. Tristan Koch in fourth. Mark Smith rounding up the top five with Greg Spencer in sixth. Barry Neal in seventh, being able to recover for a seventh place finish. Dylan Davies in eighth. Paul Drady in ninth. Darren McKenzie in 10th. Over the page we go. Mark just missed out on that top 10, but you still got 11th. Still on the lead lap there. Reese Bolitho in 12th. Scott McClintock 13th. Jake Skilton 14th. Ryan Barber 15th. Jamie Nankervis in 16th. Jared Farrell 17th. 18th, Adam Ariel. David Misson in 19th. 20th, Michael Shaw. 21st, Nigel Payton. And going down 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, we're looking at non-finishers there. They did not meet the halfway mark. So well done to everybody. Great racing.
Yeah, just give me 1 minute and I'll be with you. I'm just trying to get some points sorted, and yeah, we'll go from there.
All right, so we've got our race winners. Fantastic. Congratulations, guys. Let's start with yourself. Aidan Schultz in third place, mate. Congratulations. Well done this evening.
Thank you, mate. That was a bit of fun. Pretty uneventful, to tell you the truth. Felt good after that first run after the early caution. And then I really didn't want that last caution to come out, put it that way. We probably would have finished P2. We definitely had nothing for Edward, but good to see Ruben get up there to P2 as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Second and third there for the team. So yeah, must be feeling really good about that.
Yeah, we are. It's our first podium together, I think, since we've started the team. So that's good.
Did you have any issue with tyre wear there, Aidan, towards the end of your stints, or was it all pretty good running for you guys?
First stint after the caution, I was pretty good. Edward had probably a tenth of a second, and he pulled that gap. Then the green flag pit stop, I probably went too hard too early, lost a little bit. But then when we went green pit stop again for the last one, I felt pretty good. I was sitting there. I was never going to catch Edward, but we were sort of sitting there first and second, and it looked like we were going away from Barry in third before Sorry, yeah, in third, I think he was. I'm not sure. Someone was there, and we pretty much were going to finish the way that was, but the yellow came out, and that's the way the cookie crumbled.
Yeah, definitely. On to you, Ruben. How do you think your race ended? Well, obviously it went all right. You ended up second to Edward, but any issues through the race or?
Oh yeah, there was plenty of issues. I don't know what happened in the first run, but my tyres seemed to have burnt up. I obviously didn't change or come in the pits for that that first caution there, so I stayed out. But after 20 odd laps, I was getting really tight in that first run, so I lost 10 seconds over the guys who stayed out with me, plus lost about 3 or 4 spots with the guys who had made a pit stop. So that first one was a struggle, but I came and did my pit stop at the latest I could and forgot to reset my tyres, so I had to make 2 pit stops in that first green flag stop. So I've lost about 2 laps. So I ended up just taking my time and drove slowly, and just before that last caution, or the caution after the green flag run there, I was just on the back end of the lead lap with 4 laps to go until I had to make that last pit stop, and then the yellow came out, which saved me. So I had 2 sets of tyres left for the last part of the race.
Yeah, that was handy. I found that second set of tyres. I stayed out in that first caution too. Well, I didn't. I came in and just took fuel, and I found that I got 60 laps out of that first set, but that second set of tyres I put on just seemed to be burn up after 20 laps.
I found I couldn't keep off. I tried to use the centre of the track at the start, and I just could not do it. I was just pushing, and it just seemed like there was no grip on the outside or the middle of the track at the start. And the car was just continuously staying on the bottom, which I really didn't want it to do. But then suddenly I tried to do some new things. I think I had maybe six lap fresher tyres than Edward and a few others in that last run there, which sort of helped a wee bit. But then the grip came up the top, so I thought, oh heck, oh here, and then I found the run was happening. But unfortunately, I scraped the wall with that final lap there on turn 1 and 2, which sort of screwed up the run for 3 and 4. But oh well, I got second.
Yeah, second's better than further back. And Mr. Foster, what a run! About time you break through for a win with us.
Yeah, well, it's I'm not really too sure what to say about all of that. It was, but yeah, definitely nice to come away with a P1 after I think 4 consecutive P2s. So yeah, it's about time, as you say.
Yeah, definitely. How'd you find the tyre wear through the race? Obviously, at first stint you ran long. Did you get anywhere like I did? As I said, I ended up doing 60 laps on that first set of tyres. You can't have been far off that.
Yeah, I ran the full fuel stint on those tyres. We had that caution. Obviously, we only had the 3 sets to change to during the race, so I didn't want to burn one that early. So I was quite content for the guys who wanted to go blitz and past me, and I caught them back up by the end of the stint anyway. Before I actually came down pit road to get my own, and I always wanted to have that set in hand just in case we got a really late caution or something, and because around here for the first few laps at the very least fresh tyres are everything, and then after that a bit more management comes into it. So yeah, kept those in reserve, and yeah, just ran the fuel out each time, and it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no worries. So we're going to see you back next week for the Roval, or are you going to just leave the Roval for other guys and then come back in?
I'm not sure. We'll see how we feel on the day. Roval I usually run okay at, so yeah, but it's every possibility I'll come out for a race. It just depends what else is going on. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to see you here, mate. And I guess we'll go back to Aidan. To anyone you'd like to thank, Aidan?
Of course, mate. Obviously, Simshed Broadcasting for the broadcast. Ruben as a teammate, obviously, lots of help together. Aussie Esports getting a P2 and 3 for the first time, which is always good. Ruben on second, and of course Edward on the win, mate. Congratulations on that one.
Yep. Definitely a good drive there by your teammate to get in the second. Ruben, anyone you'd like to thank?
Of course, you got to thank. Well, you got to say congrats to Edward for his race when he was too quick tonight and nice and consistent, which is always going to win you races. But of course, Aussie Esport, our team, me and Aiden. Actually, it's our second podium, but the other one wasn't too much of a. It wasn't a higher up stake race, that one. So, but this is our first proper podium on a broadcast, so that's good. And of course, you got to always thank you, Mark, for putting the Weekend Warriors together with a few other guys there, and of course the broadcast to some shared broadcasting.
Yeah, definitely. And on the you, Edward, I know you've got a few people that you'd like to thank.
Yeah, so it's obviously Natari Autosport, all the boys. We didn't see any out tonight, but I'll give those boys a shout out anyway. Bridgestone Select, of course, most people who know me know my family history with that company, so really cool to be able to get a win with Bridgestone on the side of the car, but of course we've got the other sponsors as well, which we can't forget, AJ Insurance Services, Ferguson Group Media, Race Magazine, Two Fat Blokes as well. Really great to have all those guys backing us this year. Yourselves at Weekend Warriors, Simshed Broadcasting for the awesome broadcasts, and yeah, of course, Aiden and Ruben, congratulations for them. Really good team effort to get 2 cars in the top 3. It's very hard to do, and they've done it, so congratulations to them as well.
Yeah, definitely a good effort there by Ruben and Aiden. Back to you, JP. Where you got some championship points ready to go, or still working on them?
Let's have a look at some unofficial championship points at this stage. Or not. Let's have a look. Let's have a try again. Here we go. So unofficial results. Darren McKenzie just ekes that lead out a little bit more. 885 points. The Paul Jackson in second. Dylan Davies in third. Scott McClintock in fourth. Rounding out the top 5, Joshua Carroll Walden. Stephen Williams in 6th. Barry Neal in 7th. Adam Ariel 8th. 9th, Ruben Phelps. 10th, yourself, mate. You're now you're in the top 10. Great to see. Going to 11, Tristan Koch. 12th, David Durand. 13th, Jamie Nankervis. 14th, Mark Smith. Nigel Payton in 15th. 16th, Greg Spencer. 17th, Aidan Schultz. Hamish Gallagher in 18th. 19th, Nathan Legg. 20th, Reese May. Rounding out the top 30, we've got Raymond Yeager in 21st. Paul Drady in 22nd, Dave Douglas 23rd, Brad Allison 24th, Kobe Jordan 25th, Michael Skurlock in 26th, 27th, Daniel Aguilera Bates, Reese Belitho 28th, 29th, Cade Donnelly, and Michael Shaw in 30th.
Yeah, very good. It's going to be interesting to see who gets that second and third place in the championship. Well, as I said earlier, we're still with the 2 rounds of the Triple Crown to come, double points. And as I touched on earlier with Edward, we're at back to Charlotte next week for the run around in the Roval, which will be interesting to see. And both and I, you might get a bit of a break because I think Zach's back next week, JP.
Yeah, we'll have somebody that actually knows what they're doing in the commentary, unlike myself. So Zach will be back doing the commentary, which will free me up to do full-time broadcasts for next week. Charlotte Roval should be a great race. I absolutely love that track. Should be some fantastic racing. Really looking forward to that next week on the platforms of Simshed Broadcasting. For next week, though, we don't have much going on for Simshed Broadcasting. It's a bye week for us. We're actually doing our pre-qualifying events for Season 3 of the Real Sim Racing Australia Super Series and Super 2 Series. The drivers got their tracks today. They're going to have to do 8 clean laps of the Chicago Street Circuit, Imola, and Donington Grand Prix Circuit. So they've got their work cut out for them next week. Week after, we'll be back with a new season of racing with the Super Series and Super 2E Series, and then of course every Saturday night with the Cup Car racing with the Weekend Warriors.
Yeah, definitely. Might be a bit interesting next week. We might have a sneak peek of some things about coming up that'll come to us next year. We've already know that SimShed Broadcasting is back as our primary broadcaster for next year, and maybe, just maybe, we might be able to release a few little secrets that we've been working on in the last couple of weeks for next season with us.
Always like to hear some secrets, so looking forward to that. We'll see what's happening next week, but for now, I think that pretty much wraps up our broadcast of tonight. Some fantastic racing that we've seen tonight. Congratulations to our podium, Edward Foster, Ruben Phelps and Aidan Schultz. I'm JP Courier. Joining me tonight in the booth and in the car was Mark Johansson. So thank you very much for watching us, and we'll see you next week.